Hey, it's your boy Dustin from the Flying Chairs, the Rise podcast. And today, oh shit, you won't believe it. I got my boy Jay with me back for a third time. I haven't talked to him in about like 2 years. And this guy is all the way from Quebec, Canada. And he is awesome. He's a UFO researcher and he's actually has a little team that goes out and does independent research on abductees, contactees, and other UFO sightings and landings. And yeah, he goes out in the field and he gets his hands dirty into this shit. So I respect him in that point. He's very well known in the knowledge of ufology, and yeah, he's making a name for himself in Quebec. I'm like, fuck yeah, he's gotta be on my podcast again, because I gotta say what's up. So yo, Jay, what's up, man? How you been?
Bro, what's up?
What's
I'm
up?
pretty good. No time no see, like I was wondering when we're gonna work together again, but
Yeah,
apparently it's tonight. Tonight is the night, so
tonight is the
thank you
night.
for having me on your show.
Yes, you're very welcome, dude. I'm very eager to talk with you because I think it's been a lot of changes in UFO history and just in talking about it in Congress and new release of UFO information coming from our government. And even Canada has pretty been open. I think your other some other guy who died a while ago, who's I don't know if he's not a prime minister. What the hell is his name? He used to talk about heavily about UFOs, and he worked with the government in Canada.
You talk about the ex Minister of Defense. I don't
Yes,
have his
yes.
name exactly. That's gonna come back to me, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I love
But
his
yeah,
famous quote that I always love is like UFOs are as real as the planes that are flying over your head today. I'm like, it's so
exactly.
true. Yes, they are. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's no, again, I'm very eager to talk with you and just catch up with all the craziness. So, what's new in your neighborhood in the UFO world?
Oh my God, I think, like we start to getting good from the pandemic, like life start again, slowly but surely the economic is not that good. Rent is going high, food is going high, uh, we have the crisis with immigration, like that's a lot. But I guess we getting good. I don't say that it's perfect, but again, we hold on and we getting good. We have a new prime minister now. Is not We used to have Justin Trudeau, but now we have the new prime minister Mark Carney.
Oh.
So yeah, we have to deal with that as well. So
A lot of changes everywhere. And
yeah,
yeah, and then
and you have Donald Trump again.
yeah, we have
So
Donald Trump as president again. Jesus Christ, what the fuck are we doing here? And then, well, the fact that we had the Epstein files that dropped, and that was a big
yeah,
kicker of like exposing our government with pedophilia and all these
yeah.
uh, reptilians eating humans and other cannibalistic
Yeah,
shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah,
Like,
but I'm a huge fan of David Copperfield.
yes.
That illusionist was my mentor back then when I used to dance and I used to do magic and when I
Oh,
before
cool. Yeah.
and I was and I read and I'm like, no way, like his name is mentioned in the file as well.
Yeah, right?
I was in shock, that guy's giving so much to the society, on magic.
Yeah.
And, I saw him when he came to La Place des Arts in Montreal, like standing innovation in the early 80s, 90s, so I wasn't shocked, so I think the Imstinct file, we're gonna learn a lot more that we have to, like stuff will come
True.
out,
True.
like UFO file as well, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, again, it even reaches into the realms of extraterrestrial realms of like
Mhm.
that. They're not just talking about humans fucking with other humans. It's even talking about like Epstein was like on the search for ambrosia, for like the
Yeah,
elixir for living for all eternity and staying young, and like drinking the children's blood for adrenochrome and stuff like that. And it's just what the fuck? And like underground tunnels and bases and cities to like other countries talking
island.
to each other. It's like,
Yeah,
holy fuck, bro.
yeah, that's a shock, but between you and me, like,
Hmm.
you have guys, two new website like Alien and Aliens Plural, that you have to go look the new file that Trump actually released. I did go check a little bit, but between you and me, do we learn something new, really new? Like, is it the big thing of in the between ufologists? We
Sure.
especially here in Quebec, it's like we already knew that.
We already
It's
knew that, yeah.
nothing new, so
We knew these like
okay,
especially the four races that they claimed are like
yeah.
running the world right now. The Nordics and the insectoids and the
Mhm.
reptilians and the greys and
Yeah.
yeah, of course we knew about that for decades.
Like, talking about reptilians, like, I'm so happy. I prepared to you tonight a program with a lot of case involving humanoids. So tonight we have an episode on humanoids, sighting, with UFO and without UFO.
Oh wow,
You
okay.
know why?
Why?
Because that's going to be my talk on the University of Sherbrooke at Longueuil.
Oh,
So of the
congratulations.
studying
That's
of,
exciting.
thank you. So I said, you know what? Because we're going there, I'm going to talk to you about that tonight, if you want to.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, we can talk about whatever you want. My podcast is your podium. So feel free
thank
to
you. I
speak your
appreciate.
mind. And yeah, again, my audience deserves to know who you are because when I discovered you, I was blown away that you have this independent team. And I loved how when I finally met you, that you're like, no, we keep it small for a purpose of like, if we have too many heads on it. We have too many misdirections too at the same time if we can't collaborate and main focus. And like you're right. And then like I love how you're hands on. I love one of the famous one of the photographs that you have that I love is the handprint that you found in the mud of
Yeah,
an alien creature because it had the four fingers or something. But you had the casing of it. That was really cool. Like not too
yeah.
many, you don't talk to many people who will actually get the casings of these footprints or handprints of extraterrestrial beings. Because it's unheard of. It's not, it's hard to get stuff like that. Only people like that
You
like
know,
really admire.
you're you
Admire.
totally you absolutely right on the fact that we I decide to open ADIPAN for a reason, and the problem with ufology is because a lot of group, I don't know if maybe it's the case, like you have MUFON there,
Yes. Yeah.
but here in Quebec and Canada, we have a whole story, like 70 years of group being created, disappearing after a while, like some people go to another with another group, bring something to another group and do independence UFO researcher as well. So I said, I'm gonna create that group, to stick with a couple of guys and actually try to work it out case, because that's one thing to take sightings, sorry, and we say, okay, that's a balls of light, that's a saucer and everything we have to witness, and we do stats, we do report, but what happened after, those report going into the the what we call the 17th case file, like they disappeared, or we don't understand what happened with them after a while, so but the thing is that we're trying to apply everything that forensic in there. Not all the case have humanoids, not all the case have landing marks,
Hmm.
but if we can start to reinforce um, the chain of conviction, of proof, and start to work and especially create a database, like the MUFON, we have the chance to have resources like scientific resources. They are start to be more open about that.
Yeah.
So I think that um, a lot of people say that the future for the people like me or you, we're gonna go instinct. As soon the disclosure is gonna happen, our job's
Mm.
gonna be done, and but I don't think that's true. I
I
think
don't
that
think so either. I totally agree with
uh,
you. It won't
our
stop.
job
It'll get more
will
work for us,
continue.
if anything.
Absolutely, because what's going to happen? People's going to go for is going to go forward. They're going to talk about their case, and because the government here in Canada don't know a shit about UFO, believe me, big surprise, you know. um, they're going to start to turn around and say, you know what? Those guys are not clowns. They used to say the truth before. So if we start to work on a professional level, they're going to come and because we know the behavior, we know what happened when people see a UFO, you see things UFO, we understand what it is to be abducted.
Yeah.
So on a human side, on a human basis, we can understand more. So our job is going to be the connection with the scientific department, the development department, and helping people, because who else can help them? you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
no one's can.
Yeah.
So and that's the side part of it. A lot of people, they're gonna see doctors, they ended up with medication, and this is not what they need to understand the phenomenon that what we're going through, what they are going through, sorry.
No.
So we are there
Yeah.
for that.
You're right. No, you're
So
exactly
yeah.
right. I was gonna say, too bad you weren't around when this case happened in your neck of the woods.
Oh
With
yeah,
you
that's
know,
that's a very good case. Yeah.
saying the fact that this is in Canada, and this guy had
Mhm.
physical uh,
Great.
evidence left over after he got burnt for getting too close to a UFO. But the fact that this UFO landed there for a while, enough where he sat there, took a piece of paper and a
Hmm.
pen or a pencil and sketched it out, and you can
Yeah.
actually see the vents that actually,
Yeah.
when he
That,
got close to it again. Because he went up to it
yeah.
twice, apparently. He touched it with his gloves, and his gloves almost melted to his hand. He's
Yeah.
like, "Holy fuck,
It's
no, this
actually,
is hot."
yeah, get burned. Yeah. But that's a wonderful
So,
case. That's we call the Falcon Lake case.
yeah, Falcon
Uh,
Lake
the,
case. Yeah.
the gentleman that we just see is Stephen McCulloch. He was actually a miner. So that day he was going
Yes.
to prospect some rock and everything, and they see that craft actually landing. Like turning and landing in front of him. And what we have to understand, like in the in this area, and back in that time, we were in war. So the guys was actually thinking there was the Russian. So he put his head on the small door, tried to speak. He heard some voice. Again, he was thinking it was the Russian, like a Russian aircraft, like. And what happened is that
Yep.
when he touched it, his glove get burned, like start
Yeah.
cutting on fire, and the
Yeah.
craft turn. And when you see the small holes, you know, a very big vapor came out of that, and is
Yep.
actually that's actually burning him, to the third degrees, So
Yeah. His
and
clothes went on fire too.
yeah, actually, and you know what? Very interesting is because later on they closed the site because you're being followed by doctors. the military came, the United States government came as well, and we still find radiation for a long time after that, and he went through, he got cancer, he was
Yeah. Yeah.
radioactive and everything. And
Oh
what
my
is
God.
very cool, no, I don't say it's cool, but what is very um, wha- hot, can we say that like that, is that the marks that he have on him is actually disappearing. And each day that he see his UFO encounter, the date, like year after year,
Oh my
the
God.
burn mark reappeared,
Oh, that's
you
crazy.
know? So yeah, but the whole family suffer a lot of that, and is very sad. But that's the most documented case for my part, because right now all the documentation of that is in the University of Manitoba. So that's very cool. So Chris Wiskowski, that's is a university guy. He very become very friend with his kids. So and he take all the documentation, the clothes and everything, and
Yes.
they actually start an exhibition. So again, we see that like science and university are starting to be more open, to keep the archive and everything, which is a good thing.
No, I totally agree. And the fact that like he got sick and the radiation
Hmm.
poisoning and the fact that this thing came back once a year during the time where he had this incident is so eerie, right? This is so crazy. And it reminds me of a story here in Wisconsin where there's a
Okay.
famous town, or it's called Elmwood. It's a little town northwest of Wisconsin, and they claim to be the UFO capital of the world. Ever since this sheriff in town named George Wheeler said that he had two sightings with a UFO over the town, and the second one, he like stepped out of his car and like a blue beam shot him, hit him so hard and knocked him off his feet, enough where he died 6 months later because of his radiation sickness that he got over the years. And there's other people who claimed sightings in the area. This is George Wheat. I'm sorry. This is Hobbs Wilson in the same town as George Wheeler that actually had a sighting during the run, same time that George Wheeler had his second sighting. But yeah, it was like a very bulbous UFO, kind of like a marshmallow with three windows with little tripod legs. But again, very bulbous. And this thing on his property, he walked up to it, glowing and shit, and, and it shot up to the sky. But it's really funny about this town. There's tons of UFO landings and sightings. There's little plaques like this all around town of people who've seen it or seen there's a UFO landing. So it's so cool, right? Like you can like go through this town and kind of take a tour of all these spots that people take this seriously enough. So they have yearly UFO parades and decorating their cars like flying saucers and dressing up like UFOs. And there's two other towns in Wisconsin that do the same thing, Belleville and Dundee. So yeah, it's so again so prevalent here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, but it's cool because like you guys, you have historic marker.
Yes.
We do have, because we share the same story. Your country, my country. We share the story of Betty Hills. Like
Yes.
the
Yes.
first
Yep.
interracial couple. Because they was coming back from Montreal. They came to
Oh, it's funny.
Vermont, and
Oh, it's funny.
yeah, and they have a marker there. When you go
Yes.
see, you
Yep.
can tell,
Yep.
like
I've seen that.
this is the sighting of
Yeah.
Harney, Buddy Hill.
Yep.
And sorry, my English is not perfect, but you know what
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yes.
And you used to talk about the case, when the guys receive a beam of light. We have a similar case here. I don't have all the details, but mostly that's a kid waking up early in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and see that flying saucer coming to the neighborhood, very slowly without a noise, and that's UFO was actually shooting a beam of light, and he kind of scanning the tree. And when the kids actually get up and look the UFO, the UFO have the feeling that the kid was watching him. So the beam turned and it was actually vising into his eyes, you know? So for a
Mm.
week, the kids was actually blind. And that came into the news, you know? So
Oh,
after that, the UFO went up. But I'm gonna try to find that case and I'm gonna send it to you. That's a very good case as well.
oh. And there's another. I'll put a little clip of this story that I'm gonna tell right here. And I totally forgot the guy's name, but it takes place in France back in the 50s, I believe. And he's by the railroad tracks. And he notices dogs are barking like crazy. And then he turns around and he notices like these robotic, very bulbous, short, stubby legs with kind of claw-like arms come around and like kind of freeze him in sight, kind of because he's just kind of frozen. Like, whoa, what the fuck? And they go in from the UFO. But yeah, like his claims were pretty. Um, the way he detailed it and stuff like that was pretty awesome. And I actually made some like AI. Um, some
Oh, you
cool
did?
AI storytelling with it. Yeah, no, I'll put it up there.
Nice,
It's pretty
nice.
cool. But no, there's
But it's
I love a
cool.
lot of I love all the European stories too. There's so many good ones. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's a lot better when you have some case, when you have how I can say that, like when you have trace, like more than one witness, something that you can work with, something
Yes.
that, like cops cannot argue, when, you know. So, that's very good case. And you know what is very interesting? That's the behavior of the humanoids or the UFO, So that's tell us a lot about what they're doing here, what they're searching for.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool, So this is what something that I like when I'm studying UFO. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, like I came across this story. I forgot exactly where it was. But this guy claimed that he saw this thing come down and
Oh, wow.
interact with him, right?
Uh,
It's kind of cute, you know.
yeah, of course, but it
I
look
like
like
I want to.
photos,
There's like a little Pokemon.
Yeah, but we do have something like that, in Quebec. We have a case when we have like it's like a slinky, like those humanoids who are like a couple. They look like Slinky, like it
Slinky,
was
yeah, yeah,
marching,
yes,
walking, and it
yeah,
was like
marching band like
boing,
that.
boing,
Yeah,
boing.
yeah,
But it's funny because you never know, is it the what is the influence of that, because is it
yes, yes.
like the
You're
pop
right.
culture and everything. But one of the theory that we some ufologists here in Quebec put forward is that the witness actually creating the phenomenon by himself, and
Mm,
the mind base the creation of what he see based on the pop culture that they have, because it's
mm.
more easy to him to relate to something like that. I don't know
No,
if
that's
that's a
true.
theory that in your country is the
No,
same, but that's something that very interesting.
no, it is. That's again like I was even like the Kachina dolls. You can go like to them too, or how they're all
Yeah,
the
exactly.
same, but they all look different, but very. This is my personal collection of Kachina
It's,
dolls that I have
wow,
they're from the 1930s to 1950s. These are,
wow,
and I collect. It took a long time to collect this much. I get them from stores. Sorry, auctions online and stuff like that. Um,
wow.
but yeah, I
Look at
love them.
collection.
They're very. Thank you. So yeah, again, like with the Hopi talking about these
Yeah,
ancient astronauts coming down with bulbous heads and all different, like looking all
mhm,
kind of crazy and all unique, you know,
yeah. We have the
very
same,
awesome.
like if we talk about the mythology, like we have the same, in Saskatchewan, we have like the First Nation
Yes.
here that for them, the phenomenon is like it's nothing new,
No,
like
no. The
it's part
natives
of the
in
culture, you
Canada,
know.
they know what's up. They know what's up.
Absolutely. We have a region called Saskatchewan, and if you
Yes.
translate into the word, it's like the land of the big, the tall men or the tall giants, or the 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 tall guy with fur, So
Yeah.
maybe we
It's like
talk
me,
about
I'm tall. I'm
Sasquatch.
the tile giant.
There you go. You know. So that's amazing, when you do research on that topic, and everything is related, like Terry bring the Sasquatch into the UFO world as well,
Yeah, you're right. It's
So
like,
there you go.
where are these beings? All
Yeah,
over.
yeah. And that's very funny because, like we do have like some case when the costume of the humanoid is actually the same, just
Yes.
if we take the famous case of the Dr. Reed case, like uh,
Yes.
if you look the alien, small head, and they wear a suit, that's is not very common that like we see humanoids with suit, but that's the
Yeah.
first time that we see a body, if that's true, like you know but it's very interesting, the obelisk in the back, like the feet, if you look the feet, is just around. That's the
Yes.
same trace that we do have here. If I may give me like a second, I will go out of the kind of the camera. Like we have those book. Like I don't know if you can see well here. Yeah, that's the catalog of the R2 trace here in Canada. So that's all the documentation for the 70 years, that we have, all the circle, the burn, and again, like I'm studying right now, but we call the apparition, the intentional apparition of humanoid in the world, back by Eric Zurcher, like from France, Belgique. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
cool. Okay.
So yeah, he came, he did an intervention at the Congress here in Quebec. So very nice,
Oh,
So we
that's
have a
so
lot of
cool.
stuff going on.
Can I show you something cool?
Go ahead.
This is
Oh my
Colonel
God.
Wendell Stevens' photo album right here, full of UFO photographs of
Oh wow.
landings.
Yeah. Those books are gold mine,
Oh, this is
like
a gold mine.
it's amazing. I was expecting a family like picture back
Oh,
there.
hell no.
Like
Nah, this is a shit right here.
oh wow. It's amazing. Wow. Oh, is it that amazing?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, buddy.
And you collecting that, or that's something that how did you get that? Like
The storage locker auction. So when I heard that Colonel Wendell
oh
Stevens' associate died, they were opened up to the public. So I got into it. So I even have the F-117,
oh
stealth
wow,
fighter UFO.
yeah, with the UFO.
I
That's
met,
amazing.
look at that.
There you
Even the,
go. Yeah,
it's for real. It's
that's
the real shit.
yeah, it's a real ship. I'm
And then here,
amazed.
check this out. I thought you'll like to see that I am like the owner of this famous case that's actually making a lot of waves right now. Do you remember
Yeah.
this case? Fucking
Uh,
the
that's
UFO.
told me
It's a
something.
U. It's an alien with a suit, and it's coming out of this bulbous. So guess what? I had someone put this in 4K or whatever. Here, check this shit out. They blew it up. And the image is amazing. Find it
Wow.
here.
And
So,
somebody work on that picture and you have like a better picture now?
yeah, just digitally, they digitally enhanced it.
Oh,
Just
wow.
show you what it really looks like up close. Here, this is what it looks like. I own the fucking
My
photograph, bro.
God.
This is the real shit. Look at that fucker. That's the real shit, bro.
He's
I
looking
got the
like my
fucker.
grandpa.
Hey, son. I
Oh,
heard you're in
see?
Quebec.
Yeah,
But look at the
but you see
UFO
the
itself,
eyes?
yo. Yeah, and
Yeah,
even its suit.
but did you,
Yeah, like it's like
yeah,
changes like a chameleon.
yeah. But
But yeah,
like a
dude, the
lot of
fact that I
cases
own the
I
fucking
heard,
I own the fucking photograph of this motherfucker.
shit.
So it's apparently the
But
story goes that a 14-year-old boy was on a walk with his dog and he had his camera with him. And he happened to turn
okay,
to his right side and this thing was just sitting, this guy was standing there and he just took his photograph or took his photo and shot one photograph and it like disappeared right after the even the UFO disappeared itself too, but the alien. Here, let's see if I can get
see something interesting? The kid was walking his dog, again, a pet in the picture, and he was taking a picture out of nowhere, and the humanoids, what was the reaction? It just disappeared. And is this no is this it doesn't seem like a lot, but behavior wise, that tell us a lot of things, you know, because what I find out with all those cases is that those humanoids, they try not, otherwise they're gonna go close to you, or they're gonna try everything to avoid contact with you, and that's something, that's a data per se, like especially in the case that I have, so. But tell me something, with all those nice picture and all your
yeah.
research, when you're gonna write a book?
I should write a book or something.
You have
Yeah,
to.
no, no, actually I've been doing the conventions. I was in Fond du Lac. Um actually I can promote it quick. I was talking on a UFO panel.
Oh,
It
wow.
was May 9th I did it with other guys from Madison. So I actually brought the photo album there with me and I actually had a little booth where people were coming up to me after I was on the speech, um, talking with the panel and stuff like that. People were asking us questions and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, again, I was just I'm blowing people away by like having the original photograph to this one that's digitalized now. And you can actually see it a lot more clearly. That's probably the best photograph of a alien ever. So I'm surprised. Where is the government knocking on my door? What the fuck? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
but see, something is funny because if you see the eyes of
Oh
the
yeah, let me go
the,
back.
the
I'll go back.
creature,
Yeah. Hold on.
yeah. If you look carefully, the eyes, like we look, is look like glassy a little bit. So let's say that we are at night and the kid have a flashlight. What color those eyes will come out?
Oh yeah.
Probably orange or red. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And if you look
Or it looks
the
like it's almost like
clothes
a
that we have,
suit. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a
yeah, like
suit.
a suit. you know and if you look the clothes that you wear, you just talk about like a clothing device, like to
Yeah,
become
it's
invisible,
clothing. Cloaking. Yes. Yep. Yep.
yeah, chameleon style, but some of the cases that people talk to me about is like, they say, I saw him, and after that, he's like, he did disappear, but in the shadowy way, transparency, like, so again, maybe that's one of the device that they use, is not the first time that we see alien using otherwise tools, or clothing, or a bracelet, Dr. Reed case, as or vehicles, so like that's so much data. And the thing is that the case of the early 40, 50, 60, 70, 80s, they are a gold mine that we cannot move on the side. For me, when I look those cases, there are something that, like, they help us to understand a lot of things. And a lot of people say, oh, in 2025 or 26 we don't have the same case happen, like, we just see balls and stuff like that. This is not true. We have a lot of uh, sighting with humanoids, UFO, RR2, 1, 2, 3, 4, so uh, our job is not over. Definitely,
No,
our job is not over.
no, oh my
you know?
God. If
Yeah.
anybody, we're gonna have everybody running to us asking us questions. We need answers. We know you
Yeah.
know, and you knew for years.
You know?
It's like, duh, you should go out and learn yourself. It's
Yeah.
all around us. That's what's the most silly thing about it. It's in our religions, it's in our culture. If people just open their eyes and that's take it as fairy tales, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
even our Bibles talk about angels, fighting
Absolutely.
amongst each other and like helping us, and even Greek mythology with Prometheus and
Mhm.
ancient India
Yeah.
talking about the
So,
multiple gods with blue skin helping out people, but
Vimana.
they need vehicles to A to yes, they need to go vehicles to A to B. It's
Yeah.
endless. And it's like the whole cargo cult too. It's just like that's the whole smoking gun of religion is cargo
That-
cults. It's like
yeah.
something us humans are really weird where we have to physically see it and touch it to actually believe it. Well, not maybe not today, where you can actually believe in a guy that walks on water and like, damn, damn.
Yeah.
But exactly
But
like I feel like it was all a collective of people who saw this all at once, where it moved the mass of people who are like, okay, we're gonna use this as a religion of like building like the ancient Indian people said when those gods left, they were building the Vimana in the shape of their temples, in the shape of Vimanas. So it's just like it's so endless. It's so crazy.
and
So I
when you
speak
when
some
you look,
people like, what the fuck?
but when we look, like the ancient history, like, and I think that's I'm searching for my words now, but I think that's a rite of passage for all ufologists, to
Yes.
start with strong data. And one day you have no choice to go across the biblical narrative, like the Torah, the
Yeah.
Quran, the
The Quran.
Bible, the
Yeah.
King James Bible,
Yeah.
the mythology of the Mesopotamian, Babylonian,
Yeah.
and when you look those myths, like, you came across again those being coming from another plane or space or heavens. They coming
Yes.
to Earth. So, like, more than we search into it, I think more we're gonna understand where we came from. And a lot of people, like, for my part, like, I study more and more religion. I don't see after we read those books, you cannot have the same vision of the religion after that when you understand what ever happened, the flood, that, like, even the creation of the Adam and Eve, like the creation, just like the wood, the arriving, well, the becoming, well, the coming of the Christ. Sorry. See, you make me work tonight, my English.
But you're
But
so smart.
yeah, trying to do my best,
You're good,
but
man.
trying. So, but that's a fascinating topic. Like, I I think that back then I was just doing that for fun because I see my own UFO when I was young. So are you, but I never thought that I would do ufology on a serious basis. I never thought once that I will do that.
Sure. Sure.
And
Yeah.
I'm here. So
Yeah. And we're here. Well, same here with me. I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing today. It's just it's amazing how destiny steers you in that direction. And again, Aaron Dawkins was the guy who grabbed my heart to the subject of ancient astronaut theory, where it made so much more sense to me than everything else. It's just so weird to me, like we reading in high school that like the pyramids were built by slaves, but
Hmm.
they're moving 100-ton boulders across 20 miles where they
Yeah,
quarried the shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's
in
just
the
like,
boat.
and no one else bats an eye or really, like
Yeah,
questions that. Oh, that's
the
yeah,
Baalbek,
that's how
like the Baalbek
right.
block. Like they are
And the
so
ball back,
huge.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, those fucking blocks at ball back are more staffing and crazy. Again, the purpose and the fact that like, why would ancient people make it so difficult for us in the future to figure out how they even did it in the first place?
yeah.
Or why
Well,
even? Because they can use smaller stones and they would still last a million years. You know,
yeah,
it ain't
could
going
be.
anywhere.
But, the thing is with the scientific community, for what I came to understand, uh, for what I understood right now, is that you know when a university, like they send people to study something, like let's say just take evolution, they are paid
Yeah,
to find bones to fit a theory. Otherwise,
yeah,
they're gonna find
true.
something, and if they find something that is not what they look like, they just put that away, because what is the goal to finance research and expedition, to come up with some evidence that actually destroyed their theory, So of course, like they're gonna when they find the bone of giants, like oh my God, we have giant in the past. Of course, what we did with it, we just put that away because that's contradictory to what the study was at the first place. So,
Well,
and if
that's
you
why they
run your
find.
mouth, we're gonna take back your money. And all people know that when you study and when you do research and you have money from your search, from the university, is like you live on that. So take it off that, your career just end right there,
Sure.
So, but I
Well,
don't think that,
I love how they keep finding like remember like the stone, the hammer that was embedded in 4 million-year-old rock.
yeah, in the
Like,
stone, yeah, in the rock.
misplaced technology where that shouldn't be there, right? It shouldn't exist, but it does,
True.
right? It's just
You
like,
know,
what the fuck? And they keep finding stuff like that too. They keep finding stuff that shouldn't be there when they keep digging. So again, like they have to put it in the basement
yeah,
or they have to put it somewhere where no one else can question it. That's just another thing. Why everybody's scared to question shit, It's just, you know, does it go
but we
against their
should,
belief
we
system or
should,
shit? Yeah.
but honestly, between you and me, what that's gonna change, to know that we have giant in the past, that
Yeah.
beings came into Earth and created us. Like
Yes.
one day, if we understood where we came from as a human being, we're gonna understand where we're gonna going from, and maybe avoid a lot of things that they did in the past that we are subject to, and maybe, just maybe, because we are stupid species, I'm sorry, but that's true,
It's
like
true. It's
we
true.
think
Oh
we
my
know
God, look at it
everything,
today. You kidding
but
me?
we can so much change the world, with love and everything, if we just understood where we came from, and the future is our responsibility, but who cares who created us? We are here, just deal with it,
Yeah.
like nothing will really change. Okay, people will change religion or but s- that's happened from the starting of the world, like people going crazy
Yes.
over religion, they kill us, they kills themselves,
There's
so there's
always new
nothing.
religions popping up too, you know?
Yeah, so at one point we need to stop and say, like let's figure out where we're going to as a human species. And the thing is that, we talk about the disclosure, the big thing about the disclosure, but fine, you want that. But as a human being, are you really, really ready to receive the information? What is the amount of truth that you can bear? That
Yeah,
is the question.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
It's beautiful. It's kind of like as beautiful and poetic as how the Russians call their spacemen cosmonauts because they believe that they're going back to the stars where they once came. I'm like, that is so awesome to think about because, yeah, you're right. We might be this like extraterrestrial race that crash landed here millions of years ago where we had to start from scratch, like
yeah,
from sticks and stones and stuff like that. And because you think if we had this evolution, like how animals keep evolving because to fit their environment better, and look at us. We're not evolving. We should be covered in hair. We should not have to put sunscreen on to fight the sun because no other species are like that. And the earth is more than covered by the ocean. You think we'd be more aquatic
yeah,
or something like that? We'd be more like fish people or something?
absolutely. Like we are the species the less adapt to
Yeah.
that planet.
Yes, isn't that crazy?
That's fucking crazy. I'm
That's
sorry,
crazy.
I'm sorry,
No, you could
but
curse. Yeah.
like, come on, like we are not made for that planet, not at all.
No,
And of
no.
course we're gonna build house. Of course we're gonna build clothes. Like I'm not gonna walk. Can you walk naked on the street right now, like just to feel comfortable walking naked? But how a fucking dog can do it?
Yeah.
Like you are not made for that planet.
Right,
Like I'm
right.
sorry. Like
Yeah.
we need clothes, we need food, we need everything.
You need
But
everything.
if
Yeah.
you look the nature, the flow of the nature, everything is bound together. Like the birds, they have feathers, they fly, they have the place, you
Yeah.
know,
They have their
and they
place.
don't do
Even the fish too, like
that.
everything
Absolutely.
is so even the mammals that were here on Earth, like the whales that were once on the land went into the water and survived and flourished. We can't even do that. You know what I'm
Absolutely,
saying?
but and with the evolution, like Dr. Price say, we as human being, we did not evolve, like we were transformed with times. Let's say that the theory of evolution, like let's say that we Anunnaki came to Earth, like they take
Yeah.
a species already in that planet, like Homo
Almost
somethings,
erectus. Yeah.
yeah, and they change the DNA. Just, for me, that's make more sense.
Yes.
And they change the DNA, and we evolve for a while, but they change us, so we received the transformation, the lightness of those people, those
I
beings that
agree.
actually look like us,
I totally agree.
and then in the Bible, like,
And I find it amazing how fast the humans came to be what we see today, and how like there was other species of human living at the same time disappeared like that, like so quick.
absolutely, yeah,
What happened there? Where uh, modern day humans were hunting them off. Even the Neanderthals were so much more stronger and like more physically fit to fight the elements. Like they could like really kill a human if they wanted to, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Break over their kneecap.
If you look the Sasquatch, like
Oh yeah, Sasquatch,
for me,
exactly.
I think that the Sasquatch is actually
They
well,
actually the
the
first
first
humans
try
and maybe the ones
of
that got away from the
us.
Anunnaki that actually get to evolve
Yeah,
around Earth, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Ooh,
So
I
they,
feel you.
they they take the first species and they work it out and they say like, holy shit, they become so big, they are wise, you can see in the dark, like,
Yes.
and maybe they are the species that actually didn't work before
Yes.
us. And if you look, the eyebrows of the bone are
Yes.
so preeminent, like they are so huge the thickness of the bone so strong, they can crush like
Anything.
everything, like they throw trees,
Yeah.
so the cranium, same thing, like, so for me, I think that we don't have to reject the Sasquatch, like we need to integrate that, into
Yes.
the natural evolution of thing, and accept that maybe, just maybe, you know, we human being just like receive a transformation with the time, but nothing changed because we are in 2016, 26, sorry, and
Yeah.
our job is to keep that planet, keep the harmony, love each other because we all connected, and look forward because we're never gonna be able to be another kind of civilization out of that world here if we cannot grow. Like we're
Sure.
still stupid, so let's ended up wars, help each other, food, like, and maybe we're gonna be ready to really receive those people from our brother from the other universe. Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Oh my God. I think solve a lot of problems and get rid of a lot of people who's gonna commit suicide because like, oh my God, it's too crazy. I can't handle it no more.
Yeah. Hey, are you ready? Maybe to if I show you a couple of case that we work on right
Yeah,
now?
yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So as you know, I will do a presentation soon. And because we talk about humanoids, I said, you know what? Let's take one, two, three, four, five, six case almost.
Okay.
And let's like look into it for a few things. You're gonna maybe recognize some behavior, you know.
Okay.
So one of the case I work a lot this time is the humanoid of Longueuil. Longueuil is a city just on the other banks of Montreal. We have the Fleuve Saint Laurent, separate Montreal from Longueuil. You can go there in metro, you can go there with the bus, you can take the Jacques Cartier Bridge to go on the other side. It's not
Okay.
very, very far.
Okay.
So we're going to going back to the 26th of June, 2014, around 2 o'clock. A guy, I will not say the name of the witness, of course. So let's call him Mr. X, and you will see the photo. I will send you the photo. You can put it on. You will see. And the witness actually walked to the marina just close by. Very, very hot because we are in July, around 3 o'clock, the best sun. And they go there, they watch the boat, they watch the water, and he actually turn around, and on the other banks, yeah, the other side of the banks, you see something coming out of the bush. So is the way he was describing that being is actually 8 feet tall, big and very, very, very tall reptilian. Like the color of his skin was actually the your t-shirt, like um, yellow,
Oh wow. Mustard. Yeah.
skinish, and
Wow.
brown
Okay.
skin, you know. But again, very muscular, and very with a very prominent head, like very reptilian head,
Yeah.
and the guy is actually even if the way he was talking to me is that he was very scared, but he take the courage to take 3 picture. So you can see the picture if you want. So 3 click, 3 cliche, and in a space of maybe 5 seconds, and the interesting thing is that that being actually didn't do nothing much. It just like the head's turning the body, scanning the area, and he just went back to the bush. And the
Huh.
guys was just scared. He just ran on the opposite direction, and he actually called Le Garpin, so that which is another group. That's another UFO group, and I, with the time, I worked that case. I ended up having that case when I left the group, and I found my own group myself. You know,
Hmm.
so three picture instead of couple of seconds of what is and you can tell, like is very strong. Like you can see the muscle, the
My God,
face and
that's
everything,
scary
but
shit.
the fear, yeah, the fear was there. But when I did the investigation, I went that at night. I document the soil and everything. We find a small ball, like it looked like a fossil, but
Mm.
on the ball you have a small dot. But that was buried in the sand exactly when the humanoid was. So we can see the picture. I'm gonna send you the picture so you can
Okay.
your people, your audience can see. So, but couple of years later, like that witness went back to the same place just to see something is there. He ended up crossing someone on the opposite direction, and the guy said, like, "Did you see something? Like, why are you here?" Like he said, "Oh," he said, "Don't mind. Like it's nothing important. You won't believe me anyway." And the principal witness said to the other guy, "Did you saw something on the other side of the banks?" He said, "Yes." "How that you know?" "I just saw it." And actually, what he saw is the same humanoids, no
Uh-huh.
picture this times, walking in the water. So actually, what we saw is that the humanoid was walking in the water and start to swim away. So yeah, a couple of years later.
Shit. Oh my
So we
God.
have two witnesses on the span of couple of years. The other case is a 2020. Yeah. So couple of years. Yeah. So that's
Wow.
a one very interesting case.
Yeah, I'd
And when I
say.
went, yeah, that's it. And when I went to investigate that night, uh, I saw a very big ball of light, like green ball, falling the same place. But it's like you can see the Montreal banks on the other side. I was
Yeah.
in Longueuil, but you can tell you see the balls falling. And actually, that balls was actually recorded in the news. So
Bro.
you actually see the balls falling when they sell the news at the morning was coming.
That's
So
crazy.
I will send you
Wow.
the picture.
Yeah,
So
please.
we have the same humanoids, two witness, couple of years apart, and that's something very great. And you have the ball of light as well. So, and the guys, he said that he start since his sighting, he start to feel paranormal activity
Mm,
around him.
mm.
So that's something as well that we can see. It's
That's
not the
interesting.
only case. So
Wow. That's
that's the
interesting as
first
fuck, bro. Hell
one.
yeah. Dude, that's crazy. And
Yeah,
I would have been
but
scared as shit too if I saw that fucking thing.
yeah, because like you see a reptilian, you go like, "Holy shit!"
Oh, bro.
You run. So
I
like,
mean, uh,
okay, so keep that in mind. We're
okay.
gonna move backwards in time, and we're gonna go to Laval. We have Longueuil, Montreal, and we have Laval. In Laval, we have a small place called Sainte Dorothée. So that case is actually taking place the 22 of July, 1982. So I was actually 2 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that night, the mom and three brothers was actually playing in the backyard. The mom is actually a 911 responder.
Mm, okay.
So she was actually out. She finished her shift. She came back at home. The kids was doing the tent in the backyard,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually saw a big ball, a UFO ball, like with light streaming. So they saw the UFO, and they did observe the UFO for maybe 20 minutes, and the UFO went away. Okay, perfect. Nothing big, but they all went to sleep. Around 2 o'clock, the kid the kids cannot they are not able to sleep. That's a very, very, very hard night. And one of the subtle, they heard some noise because what you don't know is that in the backyard they have a cornfield. So in that cornfield, they heard like beep 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 noise around. So they take the flashlight and they all went out and they all scanning the bushes, you know. And what they saw is that tall reptile, kind of reptile humanoid being. Well, not only humanoid, but big head, slim arms and legs, and color of the eyes. Guess what? Orange, because it was actually flashing the light in the eyes of the beings, So they just got scared, and what they feel is a wind of cold air hitting them. As soon that the wave of hair hitting them, all the kids have stomach pain, sorry.
Oh my God.
So they became healed and they all went to the home. So the day after, they actually called the police, and the police came and do an investigation, and they have a media called La Presse here in Quebec, and they did the cover of Le Journal La Presse back then.
Mm.
So that's one of the case I'm working with.
Wow.
But what the kids saw, like that's you need to find the archive to understand exactly what happened. In the testimony, the witness says, as soon I came here, I went back outside, but I saw the humanoid run on the opposite side. So I turned my head, and the other one, I saw again the UFO with another one. So maybe they have two, not one, but two, But in the story, we all said that there was one humanoid, but maybe we have two.
Wow.
So
That's
that's
insane.
insane. Now I'm gonna make work your brain a little bit.
Okay. Work it.
Um, wait, we're gonna go in Montreal, August 4, 1968. Do you know what
Okay.
happened in '68 in Montreal?
Please tell me.
I will tell you. We have what we call a big exposition in Montreal. We have the first amusement park, what we call La Ronde.
Okay.
And that year's in '68, we call a big international exposition called La Terre des Hommes, with
Hmm.
all the pavilion in the world. United States of America was there, China was there. There was
Oh
a big
wow.
event. Like we
Cool.
received thousands of people,
Oh,
that actually make Montreal on the map of the world.
wow.
Otherwise,
Okay.
nobody can listen to us.
For sure.
So that year, again, three kids, teenager, came out of that events, walked to the street Pera. Pera is like more on the east side.
Hmm.
And they came across. We have a place called Boscoville where we take the young kids with attitude problem,
Hmm.
and they put the kids there. It was a reform school, something like that. So in that area, on the street of the corner of Pera and another street, actually see a monkey like 3 feet tall,
Hmm.
like very aggressive, bending the saw, you know. And as soon that Bean was actually looking the kids, he turned around and he jumped. He jumped 150 feet on the other side of the street because there was a X, like not a normal street, but an intersection. So he jumped so far, and he disappeared in the bush on the other side. But
Huh.
what we know is because a couple of days before in Boscoville, a couple of yards away, kids there saw a UFO and they saw a green light falling down again.
Hmm.
And guess what? What is
What?
the color of the eyes that maybe we can think about?
Blue.
No,
Oh, yellow.
orange.
Orange. Yes. Orange
Orange.
again. Oh shit.
Again. So that's another case. And that case was researching that very infamous UFO researcher here in Montreal called his name, sorry, was Henri Bordelot, was one of the first ufologists in Quebec, the first one. So
Wow.
we own him, ufology, to him. He wrote three
Ah,
books.
okay.
J'ai chassé des soucoupes volantes. And we have a whole collection, but we going back to um, the early 16, say 68, around 68.
Okay.
So it's not new, we have a wave, especially 16 and 17, we have a wave of humanoid in Canada. I don't know why, but hey, this is what happened. Let's move to another case now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saint-Marc-sur-le-Lac. Saint-Marc-sur-le-Lac is a place around just nearby Montreal,
Okay. Okay.
just close to what we call the Montagne. Um, and that place, they have a reputation to be very flooded, like water going out, they are flood all the time,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah. Yeah.
nightmare,
Yeah.
but that's a nice place though. And we have to go back the 2nd of July, 1966. Kids was actually playing cards. They saw a light falling into the window. So
Hmm.
they looked and they said, "Oh my God, they have a big ball of light falling there." And back then, they have like a big lake. So they said, "Let's go there and watch." So they all went
Okay.
out and they went when they see the balls falling, like the craft or the meteorite, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And they take a small sentier. I don't know what you say that in English, but a small road with trees,
Oh yeah.
and they come across a very, very big and tall humanoids,
Huh.
black, like very tall, very muscular, like color of the eyes, we don't know. But
Okay.
what we can know is that the skin was dark, a bit like my shirt, but a lot
Okay.
of vein, like very strong, like a
Huh.
lot of vein.
Okay.
And what happened is that they all scared, but they have the feeling that they saw two.
Hmm.
So that's
Okay.
that's another case.
That's crazy.
Funny thing, we're gonna go into 5 of July 2000. We're gonna go away from 35 years apart, but 1.3 kilometers apart.
Oh, weird.
Three teenagers, the same area, saw exactly the same thing.
Oh,
The
okay.
same humanoids go out of the bush, look at them, and went back behind a rock. Like you have a rock, the bush. So the humanoid just get up, look the kids are scared, they leave,
Hmm.
and the humanoids like disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So what is funny is because we have the first case in 1966, and in 2000 we have almost the same case.
Mm, that's
So
crazy.
that's crazy, you
That's
know.
hella crazy. Hell yeah.
And to
Especially they're
put the
seeing the same
injury,
thing.
yeah. And I found out, I went back to school and I was talking about people. Oh, I'm doing UFO researching, blah blah blah. And the guys came to me and say, my friend have a case that he need to talk to you about. Like, okay. So I take my recorder, went to see the guy, start to meet with this guy, speak with the guy, and
Uh-huh.
said, I was at the Montagne, which is not too far from Saint-Marc-sur-le-Lac.
Oh,
Again, 29th of July, 2007. The guys was actually coming out of a party and everything. He didn't drink, but just a party with kids because he got like 17 years old back then, and
yeah.
he have to go back at home, but he was in the family, a foster care. I don't know if you can say that, but for the teenager. And when he came, he take a small road, cutting into the park to go
Yep.
to his place.
Yep.
He heard something, so he stopped, he light a cigarette, and he just bring his head up, and the light of his back, of his bike, sorry, was actually flashing out something again, very tall, same color, dark,
Hmm.
2 meters high. But when he flashed the light into the eyes of that being that he saw, the eyes came orange.
Oh. Oh my God.
So now,
Jesus.
again,
Orange.
and you know what is very funny
Huh.
is that he was scared. He take his bike, turn around, start to how you say that in English? When you take your bike and you
Oh, like the reflectors on it? Or
no, when you go with your feet, you're
oh,
paddling,
you're pedaling. Pedaling.
paddling, yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, I feel that the being actually running after me to scare me on
Huh.
the diagonal side of me. I can hear his footstep
Oh
was
my God.
scratching the saw, and I can feel him directly behind me for a quarter
Oh.
of a mile.
Oh my
And
God.
ended up going home, never talk about it, and yeah,
Oh
just
my God.
talked about the first time with me. So, which is not funny that we have all those similitudes about
Yeah.
humanoids. You know, if you take the first case I talked to you about, with the cornfield, the
Yep.
humanoid have eyes that actually was reflecting the light. The humanoid
Huh.
was running, you know. Same thing with the last case we just talked about, the light into the eyes, orange, and actually we see the alien running after someone, which is very rare, you know. So that's the first thing. We have again in July. I don't know what happened. Like all those 17, 18 uh, years there, like in the area, we have a mass of sighting about humanoids in those times. The early 16 to
Yep.
80. So, and they all do something. And again, we have that famous ball of light, green light that came back to again and again. If it's not a ball of light, it's actually a UFO, seen before or after. So for me, I found that captivating. Like, do we have a pattern here?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say so, especially if the yellow eye, or I'm sorry, the orange eyes, if all those different cases, that's a
Yeah.
kicker. It's like I met an alien that had yellow eyes, at a baseball game.
Ah, oh,
Carrot
he
Top.
touched his face.
Yeah, it was actually I was at a Brewer game about 6 years ago, and this guy was sitting right in front of me. I'm like, me and my sister was like, "Is this Carrot Top?" I tapped him on the shoulder. I scared the shit out of him. He's like, "Oh." I'm like, "Yeah, it's Carrot Top." He was in town to do a show apparently. But yeah,
Oh,
it's funny.
wow.
Yeah, funny.
Look at those eyes,
Yeah, right. Those eyes. Holy crap.
There you go. Oh my God. Human beings are so special. We
We
all unique, you
we are
know?
so
That's
unique.
amazing.
Yes.
We all unique. You are unique. I am unique, you know?
Yes. No, that was
So yeah, that
awesome.
was my small review of a couple of
No.
cases I'm working on right now. And again, I'm sorry for the audience, you know, like my English is not totally perfect, so
Oh my God,
I'm
I can
sorry if
understand
I
you so
can, you
well.
know,
No, seriously. Seriously, I
I'm
understood
doing
everything
my
you were
best.
saying tonight. Seriously, I didn't have to ask you to repeat yourself or anything. No, that was awesome.
Thank you.
That was so
C'est pas
awesome.
comme si je parlais en québécois, tabarnak, parce que si je parle français, câlisse, il n'y a pas personne qui va savoir qu'est-ce que je vais dire.
Mais oui.
Mais oui. So we're gonna say tabarnak de câlisse, c'est quoi ça
Yeah.
encore? We are fucked up in Québec now.
Hon, hon, hon.
Oh my God.
You're
So,
like you're kind of like the next Jacques Vallée.
oh my God, that's too much of an honor. You know, the day I'm gonna be like close to
If I
everything
get
that
Jacques Vallée into
man,
my show, I want
oh,
you to come on with me. Okay?
I will. I
You
definitely
better.
will.
'Cause I'm
My
gonna
God,
reach out to
because
him. Because I had Paula Harris on my show. Do you know that?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
worked closely with Jacques Vallée.
Jacques
She
Vallée.
wrote a book with
Yeah.
him.
But
Yeah.
yeah, because you know, Jacques Vallée came into Quebec. He came to
Oh,
Montreal to the
yeah.
University of Concordia in the early 80s, 90s. Yeah, early 90s, 80s, 90s. And
Cool.
one of the very big famous ufologists here in Quebec called François Bourbeau is actually did that big congrès or, you know, like that
Yes.
presentation. And he did invite Jacques Vallée here in Quebec for the
That's
first time,
so
you know.
cool.
So it was for his first book, L'École Invisible, I think, something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the first time we,
Well, I
we,
love
we
how
saw
his
Jean.
first book came out shortly after Eric Von Daniken's book. They came out almost the same time, and it's the same
Exactly.
same purpose, same views. I love Jacques Vallée. He's so awesome. The fact that
Yeah.
he's still doing the work. I think he's gonna do the work
Yeah.
until the day he dies. You know?
Yeah. And I think, you know, and it's very funny because, you know, like we all say, oh, if you are a scientist, you know, and you talk about UFO, your career will end. But
No.
Jacques Vallée, you know, especially with François Petit, you know, both of them
Yeah.
demonstrate very clearly that you can do very good science and being very respected and study UFO, scientifically speaking, you know.
Yes.
And we have to be very grateful for those men that actually opened the door for the next generation of scientists, you know. Uh, I don't have any degree in physics and everything, but you know, I think that we can speak together. We can speak, you know, like and collaborate together. You know, we let us take the information of the case, and I'm very glad to give it to you guys. If you the scientific community, if you want to, but you know, study it. You know, and
Yeah.
this is what we see in Canada right now. Especially the government of Canada, they just released in 2025 a research project or a project called Sky Canada, or for the first time, they actually talk about the subject, you know, like it's more about a survey more than everything, but they ask questions to the public, you know, like, do you believe in UFO? What we should do with the phenomena? You know, do you
Yeah.
think that's a danger for the country? You know, any group in ufology? You know, they are touching the ground just to see what they're gonna do next, you know. But that's the first, you know. of course, we have research. You have Blue Book back then. We have Project Magnet in Canada. But that's a long time ago. But for the first time, 25, 2025, we see the government of the Canada, starting
Yeah.
to do survey and being open to
Yes.
work that, for a disclosure. So really
Yes.
proud.
That is so awesome. Well, on that note, that was awesome, and I'm so glad to have Jay back here with me again. It's been like 2 years again since I chit chatted with him, and it was just a flow of information and new information of stuff that he's doing in new cases, and that was so awesome. I can't wait to have you back. I love to have you back more
I
often
will.
because you
Of
do bring a
course.
lot. You do bring a lot to the table. You're very knowledgeable. Your English is fantastic. I could understand every word you were saying.
Well,
So,
if we need, we're going to put a small translation, for
yeah,
the
go do
people.
translation if you
Sometimes
want to.
I have difficulty with my English, it's like my
No, it's
speaking is
good, bro.
like,
No,
but it's
I
always
can understand it.
but it's always a pleasure that you give me the chance to be on your podcast. So
Fuck yeah, I
thanks
want to have you
again.
back. No, I like to do
Yeah,
big group chats too, so I want to have you in a big group chat
yeah,
with us one of these days because I
gonna
like
be a pleasure.
like-minded people and people from all around the world, and I love how Quebec is very unique, having such a hardcore French culture there. It's
Yeah,
awesome. I love it, and I think Jacques Vallée should feel like a second home there. You know?
it is. Yeah, you visit a couple of places, but definitely I will try to find out a picture, in front of the Chateau Frontenac. That's a big,
Yeah,
big castle there in Quebec. So I'm gonna try to find that picture again. You can put it
yeah.
in your
Please,
list.
please do. But yeah, man. Hey, can you stick with me for 2 more minutes?
Of course.